Hey everybody, it's Chris for AllEars TV and AllEars.net with today's Disney Fast Facts. Today we've got your fun fast facts about Space Mountain. Originally, Walt Disney was not a believer in fast rides having a place in his family-friendly park, but the success of the Matterhorn bobsleds quickly convinced him otherwise. An icon of Disneyland since the 1959 expansion, the Matterhorn bobsleds was the first roller coaster in the world to employ a tubular steel track and an electronic dispatch system which enabled more than one car on the track at a time. Space Mountain was designed by Disney legend John Hench in the early 60s, but the technology available at the time was too slow to model the data, so the project stalled. Once the machinery became available, the project resumed, but it wouldn't be until 11 years later when the ride finally opened in Disney World in 1975. At that time, it was the world's first roller coaster to implement computer control. Using sensors, Imagineers track the movement of each individual coaster cart, which is a critical component to the operation of the entire ride, because these sensors calculate the velocity of the cars. Beyond that, they can calculate any necessary velocity adjustments based on the weight of the riders in each individual car. Remember, this is about 3,200 square feet of track that is mostly in total dark. These sensors are literally the eyes on the ride that prevent collisions. Space Mountain in Disney World is more than 180 feet high and 300 feet in diameter. Because the Disneyland footprint is much smaller in scale than Magic Kingdom, an exact replica of Space Mountain would have towered over Main Street, thereby ruining the illusion of scale. Plus, well, it simply wouldn't have fit. As a result, the California Space Mountain is significantly smaller at 118 feet tall and 200 feet in diameter. When Disneyland opened in 1955, the final price tag for the entire project was $17 million. When Space Mountain opened 20 years later, the cost of the Space Mountain complex cost $18 million. If the ride was a more traditional coaster, it would actually have been much more expensive because of aesthetics. This is a ride in the dark, therefore, there is minimal concern for aesthetic detail. Think about it. Imagineers could build a track course that did whatever they wanted without worrying about how all of the support elements would look. Now, if you've ever ridden on the People Mover around closing time, then you've been treated to this view of Space Mountain with the lights on. You can see that there is not a single iota of time spent worrying about the aesthetic look of all those cross and support beams. Shut the lights off, and it's all fun and screams. Between the darkness, the projections, and some sudden drops, Space Mountain seems incredibly fast, but in reality, you're only traveling about 28 miles per hour. Just to compare, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad can get up to 30 miles per hour, and the Splash Mountain Descent can reach about 40 miles per hour. As much as I hate to say it, the only thrill ride in Magic Kingdom that goes slower is the 25 mile per hour Barnstormer, which is a starter coaster for smaller children. Even though it's more than 40 years old, Space Mountain has continued to be so popular that there's a version of it at 5 of Disney's resorts. Hong Kong Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris also have their own versions of Space Mountain. The amount of hidden details are super extreme on this queue. For example, on your way in, you'll see this large panel display. If you look closely at the displays to the right, and sorry that it's not clearer in this video, you see lots of coded information. For example, over here, the category says active Earth stations with the following info. These codes refer to different versions of Space Mountain around the globe. The Magic Kingdom comes first, followed by Anaheim's version, which opened in 1977. The Paris version is called Discovery Mountain. In Japanese, Ashita means tomorrow, which makes sense since the Tokyo Disneyland version of Space Mountain is located in Tomorrowland as well. And Hong Kong's version is truly an e-ticket ride. Okay, I figured you might like that, so here's some more. When exiting the ride, you'll see a robot working at Tomorrowland Station, MK1. You'll probably pass right by this workstation without realizing it's filled with fun acronyms. In the lower left corner, you can find a category titled Closed Sectors. The acronyms listed actually stand for closed attractions and the lands that they were once located in. Fantasyland, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Tomorrowland, Skyway to Fantasyland, Main Street USA, Swan Boats, Fantasyland, Mickey Mouse Review, and Tomorrowland, Mission to Mars. Just above closed sectors on the robot workstation, you'll also find open sectors. In other words, the rides that have been added more recently, including Fantasyland, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Adventureland, Aladdin's Flying Carpets, Fantasyland, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Frontierland, Splash Mountain, Tomorrowland, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, and Tomorrowland, Monsters, Inc. Laugh Factory. Possibly my favorite Easter egg in the whole of Disney World is the obscure reference of the robot dog. Many years back, before digital downloads and CDs and 8-tracks, and cassettes, people listened to records. When Space Mountain originally opened, it was sponsored by RCA. RCA had a very famous logo of a dog listening to a gramophone. The dog was named Nipper, and even though RCA no longer sponsors this ride, it's a wonderful homage that takes Nipper and sticks him in space as a robot listening to a big screen TV. Here's some quick tips for Space Mountain. The ride is about 2.5 to 3 minutes long. You must be at least 44 inches tall to ride. Children under 7 must be accompanied by a person 14 years or older. This attraction does offer rider swap. Fast Pass Plus is available. Guests must transfer to a standard wheelchair and then to the ride vehicle. Service animals are not permitted on this attraction. And there's your Disney Fast Facts about Space Mountain. This is a fan favorite and a staple of Disney thrill rides. How about you? What are your thoughts? Have you tried riding with any of the seasonal overlays? What do you love about it? What do you not love about it? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, please click on that thumbs up. Be sure to stay tuned to AllEars TV and AllEars.net for more Disney news, fun, and stuff. And follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net. New to the channel? Check out other AllEars videos here. And please subscribe to AllEars.net. Clang that little notification bell so you immediately get notified when we post a new video. This is Chris for AllEars TV. See you next time.